All right, fam. What is happening here? You guys got some good stuff coming in. Okay. The star, new direction, new aspiration. Okay. And then the Three of Cups. Why we got the Three Cups? Because of the Ace of Wands. All right. So I think you guys have definitely reconnected with someone from the past, someone from that you know. All right. And I think you guys are really trying to take this relationship to, a new direction, right? Yeah, like you guys are feeling like you guys are starting over, starting fresh, and really kind of enjoying the connection, really, and trying to see where everything will go, how things will turn out. Not bad, not bad. So the star, new hope, new dreams, right? This is a really exciting energy. And it also talks about healing as well. Some of you guys may be trying to heal from the past. Some of you guys are trying to be open to the future. Like, there's a lot of things with the star that I see that are like opening doors for you guys. But I really see that you guys see this star or see this relationship as something that has great potential for happiness. It's just going to require some work, right? It's going to take time to really work on it, and giving of yourself is the first step to make sure this happens. Now, the star is also healing energy. So whatever past, things that, whatever happened in the past here with you and this person, I feel like with growth, with time, with really focusing on what you both want out of the relationship, there can, healing will be, one of those things that kind of come with the job, you know what I mean? Come with the work. So I feel like with the star, there's a lot of new opportunities, not lots of new ideas, feeling really inspired to go and try again. I feel like really just starting fresh, starting new with this person is really big. Now, with the past, you have the 10 of Cups, like excellent energy for the past, mainly because this is talking about how you feel with this person. I feel like you guys are very happy with this individual. This person really brings out something in you. I kind of get this vibe that with this energy here, that the 10 of Cups is someone that you're very happy to reconnect with, someone that you're really happy about, expressing your emotions with and just kind of being. It's great. And even in the present, you guys have the Fool. So even though you guys have either completed an emotional cycle, right? Like you guys have just maybe confessed your love to each other, let your emotions kind of be known in this moment, or you're just enjoying yourself with this individual. I kind of get this vibe that you're starting fresh, starting new. You're starting fresh. Like I said, you're starting over, the star, and then the Fool coming up on. That's literally taking a leap of faith and starting over. And I kind of get this vibe that, it's kind of risky and you kind of feel it, but it's worth the risks. I think you guys are like feeling like the situation is worth the risk. You're on alert though, no doubt, with the King of Swords. You're on alert. You're not necessarily 100% trusting of the situation, but you trust enough to you trust yourself. That's the biggest thing. You trust yourself. You may not trust the other person, but you trust yourself. You're on guard, but you're open to change. You're open to taking and seeing this opportunity through, and experiencing it fully. So what does your future hold? Your future holds the Six of Swords. Now this talks about moving on or leaving something behind to put yourself in a position to be available for new opportunities. So some of you guys may be taking a leap of faith, or maybe you guys are presented with something that requires you guys to have faith in a situation, and you do end up going in a direction where there is a lot there's a lot of possibilities to consider, but it of course leaves behind the comfort zone. I think you guys are kind of done with the comfort zones, right? This doesn't scare you. Like, nothing is really scaring you. I feel like you're taking a leap of faith. If you guys are not on guard, this is someone that's very serious. The King of Swords. It could be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius that you're dealing with. I feel like you guys are maybe taking a chance with the King of Swords. Someone that's very clear with their communication, who doesn't play games or beat around the bush. I kind of get this vibe that you guys are really, feeling like it's worth taking a risk with, because this person has been through enough to be able to communicate what their issues are, what they need from you. And I kind of get this vibe that too, this person is very stable. So this, in a way, this kind of gives you a little bit more incentive to go ahead and take a chance, because this person seems very structured, very solid. and who they are. And if that's not you, then it's definitely the other person, because obviously with that Fool coming in, right, taking a leap of faith is really big. And not like this, like I say, the Fool is not necessarily a fool. He's very naive. He's very, like I said, open. He doesn't reject ideas. He doesn't reject things. But he also, he doesn't reject things, but he's open to the experience, so open to growth. So I kind of get this feeling that for a lot of you guys are really opening to growth here. When I see the Fool, like, you guys are really open to growth. And the King of Swords, like, you guys have been through a lot, but you also know your truth. You know where you stand, you know where someone else ends, and where you meet. You know what you're going to tolerate and what you're not going to tolerate. And I think that's the biggest thing. I think that's why it gives you even more incentive to be like, yeah, okay, well, I'm open to changing. I'm open to experiencing, because you know where you stand, you know who you are. So the Ace of Swords in your best path to follow is really just pretty much reminding you, I feel like, that you already have the sword in your hand. You already have that sword of truth. You already know that you can cut people. You make things happen if things go left field, right? Because you're not going to take that. You know who you are. You know what you are willing to take and what you're not willing to take. So I kind of get this vibe that even though this is a new beginning for you guys, you're not coming out of this. You're not coming into the situation without any clue what the heck's going on, right? I feel like maybe some of you guys may be changing your boundaries and things like that, but otherwise, I really feel like you guys know your truth, know where you stand, and that gives you even more comfort and taking chances and taking leaps of faith and, putting yourself out there. Because I feel like you guys definitely want success in regards to, putting yourself in a position where you are seen by others, where other people notice you. I feel like some of you guys, it may not be someone from the past, maybe it may not be reconnection, but it may be that you guys are, considering the dating scene again, putting yourself in a situation where you guys may interact with more people. You know what I mean? Because I feel like whatever this 10 of Cups was, this ending here may have been an ending of a relationship. It could be that you guys have, found a home within the self as well. I kind of get this vibe that you guys are just feeling good. Or just emotionally done with how some situation. And I don't see the 10 of Cups as an emotionally done card, but I kind of feel like you guys already wrapped something up, something completed itself, and you're ready to move on from that. Some cycles ended, and you're not necessarily just looking to stick to it or stick in the energy. You're ready for change, you're ready to try something new, and you guys are putting yourself out there. And I feel like that's what the star is all about. That's why there's a lot of healing energy that's coming with that. And the Six of Swords, you're taking chances, you're going out of your way to, try new things. And it may be a little scary, but you guys are also ready for anything. So it's not like you guys are not fear-ridden at all. I don't see any sort of fear at all. I feel like the Six of Wands really in your hopes and fears right here. It's really just you guys wanting to be, happy, right? To enjoy yourself, to be proud of the effort that you put in, right? You guys really want to put yourself out there and stuff. And I feel like some of you guys really want to get recognized or really want to be seen by somebody that matters, right? Someone that, that is confident. I think you may want to interact with someone that's very confident. I think that you guys want this confidence to show and to, bring attention to you. Some of you guys, I feel like you guys either want to be more confident, but I don't feel like you guys aren't confident right now. I kind of just really feel like with the Six of Wands that you guys just want success in the dating world, or, just to be happy with, with who you are, and to just feel like, you're heading in a direction that does, move in a really wonderful direction. I feel like you really want to be successful in your love life. So the King of Cups is coming up in your external energy, and what it looks like is like the Fool's journey begins because something was not necessarily laid to rest, but was accepted and put under a certain status that allowed you to move on. So yeah, I feel like the King of Cups may not necessarily just be you. I feel like there may be someone else around you, or somebody that that you encounter because you're so confident, because you're so open, because you're open to receiving things. Like, you putting yourself out there may bring somebody in, which is the King of Cups here. Now, Two, some of y'all may be, may be aware of what your dream person is, right? You may be like, okay, I put myself out there, I'm confident, I've done all this, I've done all that, I've been through a lot of stuff, I have an idea of who my person is. So some of you guys may end up being the person that you wanted in a relationship to attract that very person. So the King of Cups, I feel like, is someone that is your ideal partner, your ideal person. It's someone that you definitely feel like is your person, right? And I kind of feel like you guys end up feeling full of love yourselves. But I kind of get this vibe that you guys are taking a leap of faith with somebody that's, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, and it could even be like a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It doesn't have to be any of those signs, but I kind of get this feeling that this person is very serious, but they're also very loving and they're very sweet. And they're very protective of their emotions. They're very, they can be seen as a bit tough exterior, but they are very deep and soft on the inside. And I feel like you take that chance to get to know them, to really work with them, and you really figure out who they are underneath the surface, right? Underneath this, tough exterior, I feel like you see this really soft, sweet, gentle, natured person that's become this way due to certain circumstances. And I think this is the same way for you. You may have a tough exterior right now because of course you're taking a leap of faith, right? You're putting yourself out there. You're not necessarily covered by anything, so you got to protect yourself. But then I feel like you start to get more comfortable, you have more fun. You become, you're aware of your truth. You start living by this truth, the Ace of Swords, and you start to soften up, start to come up, be comfortable with having, with dreaming, with the idea of being in a relationship or being connected with somebody, so it can play both ways. I kind of can't really tell. I feel like this is kind of the matter. I feel like it's both. I feel like you're going to be someone that softens up over time, and then you're going to meet someone that you may meet that may be tough on the outside, but they all soften out and they soften eventually, right? So let's go ahead and see what you guys have from the Whispers of Love. What a clear reading this time, guys. Very open, very positive. I love it. Very, very, very strong and positive message this time around, y'all. All right. Honesty is essential. To be a loving person, it is important that we speak truthfully and in a loving manner. Wow. So the Ace of Swords also talks about speaking your truth too. You know what your truth is, you know who you are, being authentic, and going based off of what is real and what's true for you. So I kind of get this feeling that, taking the leap of faith, maybe the expressing your truth to the King of Swords, someone that's very, that's not very open to different ideas or anything either anyway. And of course your truth still matters to you because it's your truth. It doesn't matter. So, surrender to creativity and the surrender to silence. It's a very weird combination there because those two, in my opinion, are very contradictory. You can't be silent but also be creative. Maybe you can. But I feel like to be silent is to express. But creativity is an expression. So how do you do both? So let's read them. The first card actually that came out, I feel like, was the surrender to creativity. Let your imagination soar. They open to all creative ideas and about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. Okay, and then we have the surrender to silence card. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter stillness within. Quietness can heal and replenish you. So I kind of get this feeling that for some of you guys are either meant to express yourself. Some of you guys are meant to, let me just refocus this. There we go. Some of you guys, I feel like it's really weird because I kind of get this vibe that you're supposed to do both and somehow balance both. Like, for instance, like there's a moment to be creative, there's a moment to be outspoken and be yourself. But then I also think there's a moment where you may want to pay attention to people, and paying attention to people requires you to kind of hold that energy a little bit in. So not necessarily, hey, Keep it closed. Keep it quiet. Don't be loud. Don't be obnoxious. Don't be nothing. Not trying to say that, y'all. I'm saying that there's something here where you may want to take a look at something. Be yourself, of course. Honesty is essential. Don't hide who you are. But in moments of dating and in moments of putting yourself out there and in moments of understanding someone, you're going to probably want to reserve yourself a bit to get to know the person. You can't get to know the person if you're the main focus. If you're the main focus, which is probably why this card is coming up. Maybe you guys don't want to be the main focus. Maybe some of you guys really want to be, really want to see what other people have to offer. Maybe you don't want to be like that person that, that's the center of attention. And I feel like you guys really want to get to know the people instead of being the main focus, which is understandable, which is why, surrender to silence may be coming up. Maybe right now, the focus is to be that person that's open and expressive and willing to give of yourself to make something work, in a sense of like expressing yourself, showing your truth and all that.